Democrat Tina Kotek won a tough three-way race to become the next governor of Oregon, the Associated Press projected on Thursday. Democrats extend nearly 4 decades of control over the Oregon governorship. With 91 of the expected vote counted, Edison Research had yet to call the race. Democrats have flipped 2 Republican governorships to their column in Maryland and Massachusetts with a chance to take Arizona away from the Republicans as well. Nevada, however, could slip from Democratic control. Democrats won elections for governor in the blue wall states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, enabling them to resist Republican efforts to restrict abortion and voting rights. Representative Lee has won re-election in Nevada's 3rd Congressional District, beating her challenger Republican April Becker in one of the most competitive House seats this cycle. Lee raised a record amount of money for more than $5 million and far outspent Becker. Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto survived a challenge defeating Republican Adam Laxalt. 14 members of Laxalt's family wrote a 3-page letter endorsing his opponent before the election. Marie Gluesenkamp Pérez defeated Republican Joe Kent in a Washington House race. The Republican candidate was also a proponent of former president's claims that the 2020 election results were a sham. Democratic Marie Gluesenkamp Pérez defeated Republican Joe Kent to win the U.S. House race for Washington's 3rd Congressional District. Pérez's win will flip the district from Republican to Democrat, a first in 12 years. There are still 25 uncalled seats in the U.S. House. Democrats need 18 in order to have a majority while Republicans need 8. A New York congressman who lost his seat criticized AOC's midterm campaigning, saying she did not help the party enough, an allegation she denies. Ocasio-Cortez criticized the New York Democratic Party for lack of year-round organizing and over-reliance on leaning into Republican narratives on crime and safety. Maloney is chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee (DCCC), giving him responsibility for getting candidates elected. Catherine Cortez Masto hung on to her seat in a close race that nearly saw her beaten by Republican Adam Laxalt. The race was among the tightest in the country and saw record spending with 158 meters on TV ads. The Democratic Party will keep control of the chamber no matter how Georgia runoff plays out because of Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Cisco Aguilar, a Democrat, was elected Nevada's top election official, beating Jim Marchant, a Republican who is linked to the QAnon movement, sought to spread misinformation about the results of the 2020 race. His victory is a significant win against efforts to sow doubt in U.S. elections, a growing force in the Republican Party. Republican Rep. Jamie Herrera Butler failed to make it through the state's top 2 primary after angering conservatives with her vote to impeach Trump after the attack on the U.S. Capitol by his supporters. Democratic Rep. Schreier survived a challenge from Republican Matt Larkin to win a 3rd term in the 8th District. Democrat Adrian Fontes won the top elections post in Arizona on Friday, defeating a Republican rival who attended the January 6 rally that preceded the violent attack on the U.S. Capitol. Republican Mark Finchem had emerged as one of the most prominent Republicans running for Secretary of State positions around the country. Arizona Senate candidate Blake Masters and other Republicans complained Friday about the length of time it takes to count ballots in Arizona. Finchem had argued for significant changes to Arizona's elections after Biden won the state in 2020 and had been endorsed by Trump. Republican candidate for governor in a lawsuit seeking to get rid of the machines that tabulate votes for the midterm elections and replace that process with a hand count of all ballots in the state. Election experts say full hand counts can be painfully slow or prone to human error and are not as accurate as machine tallies. The lawsuit alleged that the vote-counting machines used in Arizona aren't reliable, a claim for which there is no evidence. They are appealing a decision by a federal judge to dismiss their lawsuit. Some congressional Republicans privately unsure if McCarthy even has the votes to become Speaker. House Minority Whip Steve Scalise, McCarthy's longtime deputy and occasional rival, would make a play for the speakership. Adam Laxalt says early ballots dropped off on Election Day and currently being tallied are breaking for Democratic opponent at a greater rate than he expected. Marco Rubio took to Twitter on Friday to call for postponing the Senate leadership vote next week. Democrats need to win only one of the 2 remaining Senate races in Nevada and Georgia to retain control of the chamber for 2 more years. Republicans are narrowing in on victory in the House of Representatives, having won 211 of the 218 seats they need for a majority. Mark Kelly, whose win over Donald Trump endorsed Blake Masters in Arizona, put Democrats on the brink of retaining Senate control.